Yeah, or what?
No, dude, it's all about vodka.
Yeah, no, I mean, not really. I just came over here because Bob.
She wasn't a very good cook. Or what?
Yeah, he agreed to speak to one person, so I went and got one person.
Really like supported. I can see. Honestly, I can see some of the.
You should post some recipes on your page every once in a while.
Well, I can do that. No, seriously. Once I get unbanned, because I'm like banned over all my accounts now.
It's terrible.
Zuckerberg doesn't like anything I post.
He's getting in. He's getting in.
No,
I gotta go to court because I got a recipe.
You get banned for like built the wall.
And that's why I think it's really important to distinguish between people who are actually supporting Trump and people who are
There's like 2 times I got banned for making fun
to advance an ulterior purpose.
doing what Zuckerberg likes.
I'm not disagreeing.
Do they just ban for it? They don't even look at what they ban. They're just like, oh, that looks cool. That looks bad.
I think you spent your day wisely. I'm honestly asking that question.
Meanwhile, you report like a pornography and they look at it. That doesn't look like right now.
It's going all right, really.
Yeah, and you know,
Well, it could be worse.
I
So,
appreciate the fact that coming out your box by
so you know that
voicing disagreement and being like respectful.
Just meeting people in general. You walk around with your
People
phone.
on both sides.
I always forget. I'm like,
Passive aggressive.
Something that
I've got you on video.
I'm really.
I'll be on video saying you don't care.
That's really what all of like on-campus organizations.
The word is only like
Getting out there and like
at this point,
creating a
it doesn't
venue.
The concept of diminishing marginal utility.
And yeah, sometimes you have to be a little bit edgy. Sometimes
like diminishing return.
Stuff like that.
Yeah,
It gets people out, but it gives you the opportunity.
Oh, you called somebody racist the first time.
I think that's what.
But when it's like you just call everyone a racist,
There's something to be said for like being
It's easy to do when you push your ideology around.
you can go over, make everything. Well, and the wall thing, I'm like, I don't agree. I'm not national.
Smoke a joint.
I don't like any national.
Smoke a joint and go to court.
Like I said, that's not something I'm excited about. Yeah, I care more about the dude who's openly claiming that. Yeah, I was just saying how dude. No, like I said, why do you keep laughing, man? Like it's real. I'm sorry that reality.
I'm sorry that you can't understand that there is such a thing as serious business on the internet.
What? Oh yeah, sure.
He's trying to say that he's trolling for it.
Okay, but I'm
It's
saying
a joke.
if we admitted he was doing this shit, I can look on his Facebook. He was doing this shit before he had a soapbox.
Yeah.
He's trolling. And nobody's looking at his shit. He's just a fucking fascist. He's a racist. Like.
So you want to claim that before even thought of students for Donald Trump, he was just a fascist and he's using this as sort of an excuse, an umbrella to shield himself.
That's extremely logic.
I think he sees that Trump is creating an atmosphere for him to spread his bullshit. I don't think he cares. I think he cares more about himself more than
bullshit,
Trump.
but I do agree that yes, Trump has caused a great shift in the public consciousness. We are moving toward.
I'm not saying Trump himself is fascist, whatever. I mean, I honestly think that all fascists, Hillary, and even Bernie's a fascist, in my opinion.
You have a very wide definition.
Yeah, that's a very wide definition of fascism.
Well, I mean,
to make it
what definition are you using? Because I usually go by Mussolini's definition. When corporations and government are so close together, you cannot tell the difference.
I'm gonna look it up on Merriam-Webster real quick.
Okay, I was like, my understanding of fascism is there isn't a corporation. There's just the government.
So if you have corporations and government together, but you have an extremely liberal social policy, that's the fascism.
That's why I say left and right is bullshit. You keep talking about left and right. Like, it's a circle, you know? Fucking Nazism goes right, leads right into extreme communism.
How would you reorganize the political spectrum then?
I would destroy any power structure.
No, but how would you reorganize
Your
it?
only political aim is
Like,
He doesn't believe in
I
politics.
think we can organize our communities without anybody being above anybody else. It's so hard to understand about that.
oh, you know, human nature.
It's not communism. Well, communism, see, communists claim that communists have a state structure. They still think like we've got the party. You know, we're going to enforce your equality for your own good. There we go. No, I think that people can enforce their own equality. I think we can run our own
local government.
Yes, small local socialism.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'm a small government.
Pretty much Iran.
Me too.
Like where my
libertarian socialism. Before I even knew what anarchism was, I called myself a libertarian socialist. It's the same thing.
So are you comfortable with lying to people? Socialism has a 100% failure.
True socialism has been tried. I'm talking
There it is. There's the
Libertarian
socialism has never been tried before.
Wait, what do you mean it has a 100% failure? Have you heard of Rojava? Rojava, Western Kurdistan. Right now, there's millions of people there. It's a whole country run under anarchist, libertarian socialist philosophy. An entire country. They're also in the hottest war zone right now in the world. They're in Syria, you know. They're fighting against, they've got NATO against them, they've got Turkey against them, they've got the Syrian government against them, they've got ISIS against them. They are doing it. It sounds like a utopia.
Sounds like such a socialist utopia.
I mean, serious. What are you serious?
It's a war zone. You just pointed out a functioning war zone as a successful example of an anarchist society.
It's in a war zone. Yes.
It is in a war zone.
Working. It's wartime anarchism, but how does that mean it's not working? Capitalism worked during World War II.
We don't want to live inside of war.
Most civilizations do not want to literally exist in a war zone.
Obviously, I don't either. I'm not saying that's ideal. I'm saying they have built an entire society in the middle of the hottest fucking war zone. I'm not saying that's ideal. I'm saying
So
One of the extents of anarchism, you're talking earlier about how if the state doesn't exist, corporations will fill the void.
Yeah.
The corporations aren't the only entity that can fill the void. Oftentimes, warlords, warlords will fill the void. And so,
which becomes a state. Really?
An ad hoc state, right? Not an official state, but a state eventually originates, right? And so the idea that we can have a stateless society, it's really counter to human nature because there's always people who
maybe right now.
Anarchism is only viable as a transitional state. That is the only time when anarchy will ever exist as
well, and there
this isn't okay. Like you need to leave our community.
So there are examples of voluntary, like voluntarist communes. Is that what you mean?
Yeah, it's voluntary.
Yeah, and that works on a small scale. But you would have to have incredible either population controls, not population controls, sorry, immigration controls. Make sure you're only getting the right kind of people into that commune because the people who adhere to those values and who agree.
But eventually, people are gonna, if they don't like those values, they're gonna go to another community that like has a different value.
Yeah, or like
true
vote someone in.
Anarcho-capitalist community here, there could be an anarcho-socialist community here.
then that's not a
like
functioning
secession?
society government. It's just a bunch of tribes.
There's no government. That's the point. There is no government.
Right, but the problem is that if you go into the voluntarist commune that agrees with the non-aggression principle, and if we're both living there and we're all living there, and I come and I steal your bread, what is the punishment?
I won't really have to.
Unless you catch me and chop my hand off. And so,
Well, I mean, for stealing the bread, if you got caught, people were like, if he was like, this guy stole my bread. First of all, I would come talk to you first. They'd be like, are you hungry? Like, why did you need to steal bread? And then I would take you there and be like, this dude stole your bread. How can you make it up to you? Restorative justice.
What if I'm just an asshole?
well, that becomes
If you're an asshole enough and kick you out
I thought you guys adhered to the non-aggression principle in this community.
if you're aggressive, if you're an asshole, you're aggressive against other people, then you broke in and kick you out.
right, but that
I really
organization.
feel like you gotta leave there. Like you should really research this shit.
Basically, every time I got
With that organization, then that would become a state, wouldn't it? Because it's deriving authority.
the people who kicked him out?
If there's some kind of committee that kicks somebody out of the commune,
I don't even know if there should be a commune.
So how do we decide when someone should get kicked out? Like,
You mean me personally? Like,
do you get to pick? Do the two of you get to pick to throw me out? Like, if there were like 8 of us, how many of them would need to decide?
what you're doing.
Okay, so we need like a set of codified laws to decide. Okay, so we need a government.
That's not codified law. Government,
Codified law.
this is obviously very like it depends on how you define a government. I personally define a government or a state as any concentration of power. They're a lot better.
Okay, so
explaining away.
so the people who have the authority to kick somebody out of the commune, that becomes a concentration of power. So
Everybody has the same authority in the whole entire country.
Isn't making a law
everybody
giving
has the
it
power.
power? Aren't you just centrifying your power in the laws?
I personally don't know how I feel about codified laws. I mean, this is like I said, there will be all kinds of different communities.
But so if we don't have codified law, then we're back to the same question. How many people need to agree that like, oh yeah, kick him out before we can do it?
A lot of times anarchists like to operate on consensus. No, consensus.
What kind of consensus? 2/3, a 50%?
I mean, it all depends. At Occupy, we were at 90%. Some, if it's small enough, 100%.
100% would be nice. People are allowed to abstain also. You know, everybody doesn't have to agree and abstain.
But the authority, deriving authority from that consensus, whether it's 50% or 2/3, doesn't matter. Deriving authority from the consensus of a group of people becomes a state mechanism.
But that authority only exists to stop the other person from hurting people. Like it's only to
Right, and you could say that hold on. You could say that all of the laws in the United States serve that same purpose. We just disagree to the extent.
I wouldn't say that at all. Because I mean, we don't have any really say in who's making those laws. And besides, the United States is 336 million people. We're talking about small communities. No, we don't.
But
I didn't say. I went to jail for a year for smoking marijuana. They didn't ask me if I was okay with that law.
But the idea of it works in small communities. Okay, where do you draw the line in small communities? If it's three of us decide to start a commune, and then you decide the next day, or I decide,
Have a great day.
and then I decide the next day that
2016?
I decide, oh, the NAP is bullshit, and I'm going to steal you.
No, they agreed to talk to one person. They didn't want to talk to a group.
But then that becomes a use of force against a member.
So, but there's agreed that there'd be no violence or anything like that.
I don't really call it the NAP. But according to that, and according to the NAP, if you stole the bread, you broke the NAP first, which means they're not breaking it.
Okay.
It all depends on who is aggressive.
Okay, that makes sense.
So it is a rule then. Like,
Like I said, I don't follow the NAP. The NAP is a rule. Yeah, anarchists aren't against rules; they're against rulers.
okay.
Anarchos without rulers. That's etymologically what it means.
Okay, so, but if everyone has like the same say, is everyone a ruler?
Well,
Isn't communism the idea of giving everyone equal power and we rule ourselves?
well, the ruler becomes not the individual,
Yeah.
not the group of individuals. The ruler becomes the consent. It becomes the will. That's
And the ideals of the community, like yeah, you might be if you don't want somebody to like rape or steal people's food, then like that you're ruling by kicking them out. You know, sure you're being a ruler, but like it's not to defend any small group of people. It's to defend the entire community.
It's to defend the culture of your community and your ideals and values, your morals, the things that
It's not really
the thing
about
that your community was built on.
If somebody's being raped, it's just to defend them. Which is more than morals. It's just their like right to
Okay. So can we apply that to a larger scale group? Like these,
You could try.
yeah.
I don't think anything, any kind of like